Hey guys, what's up and welcome back. If you haven't been here before, hi, my name is Osla, but you can also call me Ash and I really love makeup and project panning. If you haven't read it from the title just yet, today we'll be updating my Panda palette as well as my project level up for the year. So if you're excited about that, then please keep on watching. So before we get into the update, I did quickly want to note a few things. First off, it has been quite a while since I filmed the introduction to my Panda palette and project level up. I believe those were both filmed in mid-January and we are now on the 11th of April. But this is because I was extremely busy both in February and March because I had two deadlines for portfolios. I mentioned this in my community tab a while ago, but yeah, I applied to two different art schools. I already got a reply back from one of them, sadly stating that I didn't get in, but I'm still waiting for the second one to give me an answer, and I'm hoping to hear from them by the end of this month. So yeah, that was why the videos were very few and far between, and I haven't filmed an update until now. Secondly, I haven't been wearing as much makeup as I'd like, and that is definitely something you can see when you look at the progress. I wore makeup 14 times in January and then 11 times in both February and March, making it 36 times that I've worn makeup in those 3 months, and I believe this is my 5th time wearing makeup this month. So yeah, the usage is definitely reflected in that in all of my projects. But without further ado, let's just get into the update. Starting off with the bite-sized palette in the shade Cream and Sugar from e.l.f. Cosmetics. I have used this palette a total of 8 times over the past 3+ months, and this is what we're looking like today. Now, as you can see, there is still product left in the second shade, and there's still a ton of product left in the third shade. This is because I reached for this a total of 8 times, and this shade I've only used twice. So definitely not great in terms of the second shade, but this one definitely has gone down a bit. I've mostly used this as a highlighter in my inner corners or all over the lid. And yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to finish this shade up in like a month or two max. And I really want to push myself to wear this more, whether it's on the lower lash line, as I prefer most of the times because I just don't love copper shades that much, and that is how I've worn it, I believe, the past 2 times, but also on the nails. My only problem is that I keep forgetting to do my nails, and part of it is also because my nails have been extremely brittle over the past couple of months. I have a tendency to wash my hands way too much, and I also make sure that my apartment is nice and clean. So yeah, my nails keep breaking. I definitely need to take some supplements, take some better care of my nails, maybe put some polish on there. So I will definitely try and do so in the next couple of months. And hopefully I can use both of these shades up by June or July if I really push, because I am so done with this palette. I want it out of my collection. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm sick of it. And I just want to use it up as quickly as I can. But yeah, that's it for this little one. Moving on to my actual palette of the year, and that is the e.l.f. bite-sized palette in the shade Rosewater. And throughout the past 3-ish months, I have used it a total of 14 times, and this is what we're looking like. Now, I hope you can see that there is a tiny little pan in the first shade, and this is actually from a couple of days ago. I hit pan on this after the 14th use on April 7th, the rest of these shades have also been used 14 times. So that is something I really enjoy about this palette, because these shades work so well together in tandem. I wear these shades all of the time, and I can just do a full eye look. There are essentially two eye looks I do. The first one is like a lighter look where I have this in my inner corner and sometimes on like the first half of my eyelid. This one all over in the crease, this one on the outer half or all over the eyelid, and then this one either to enhance my lash line just slightly or make a little wing. That's how I like to use it for a lighter look. I'll make sure to try and pop up some pictures if I think about it. And then secondly, I also discovered that you can turn this into a bit more of a mauvey, smoky look by using this shade all in the crease, this one on the lid all over, and then use this one to top that up with, and then have this one in the inner corner, and it's lush. I love it. And that way I've also been getting more use out of one of the liquid lipsticks in my 25 in 25 project. So yeah, pretty decent progress in this, but I would have loved to see another pan or two because of how long it's been. We are now a third of the way into the year, and I would have loved to have gone a little further with this palette, but I just need to push it and use my makeup a bit more, wear more makeup, because I just have had more makeup free days than actual makeup days, and it's such a nice way to start my day or get some relaxation in, because it can be quite therapeutic for me. So yeah, pretty okay progress. I would love to see more of that, so hopefully in the next update I can hit a pan or two and expand some of the pans and get some really good use on this, so I maybe can use this up before the end of the year. But honestly, we're not looking too hot right now, so who knows. So as for my project level up, I'm really happy to say that I have leveled up. To refresh your mind, my level 1 palette was the Blueberry Muffin palette from BH Cosmetics. I don't currently have it with me, but I'll make sure to pop up some pictures while I go over the usage. But yeah, I just could not be bothered bringing that along with me, as I already have a pretty big makeup bag with me. Like, look at this. But yeah, going over the shades, first off, I did reach for this palette a total of 7 times, which I think is pretty good. So I reached for this palette for 7 looks on 7 separate days. Sweet I used once, Cheat Day I used once, Crumble I used once, and Decadent I also used once. I also just wanted to quickly note that I already had hit pan on Cheat Day in a previous project, which was my Pando's eyeshadows back in 2023, I believe. Anyway, Sugared I reached for 5 times, and I'm really happy to say that on the 5th use I did hit pan. Cravings I used once, Treat I used once, 360 Degrees I also used once. I immediately think of the Brad album from Charlie XCX. So Good I used once, Tempting I used once, Yummy I used twice, Baker's Dozen I also used once. Then we have Hot and Fresh, Delish, Fluffy, and Stud Muffin, which I all used once each. So after hearing that, it's clear that I, first off, reach for every single shade once, and secondly, I also hit a pan and Sugared after 5 uses. So with that being said, I am leveling up. If you're curious to hear which palette it is, I will roll some footage now to show you, because I once again wasn't able to do so right in the moment. So I believe I rolled a new palette in either last week, at the end of last week, or at the start of this week. But I actually already leveled up back in February. Also, I believe I hit pan and Sugared on February 17th or 18th. Anyway, the palette that we're rolling in is the Furia Diva palette from Odin's Eye, and this will be my level 2 palette. Just a quick reminder, I am doing a level up light, which means that I am only going up until level 3, and I can veto palettes and maybe pick them myself if I'm just truly uninspired or I'm very inspired to reach for a certain palette. With that being said, let's have a look inside. So I believe this palette has been in my collection since 2021 because I got this palette in a mystery box from Odin's Eye, I believe for Easter, when they still did the mystery boxes. But yeah, this is what it's looking like inside. As you can see, it's like a very orange, peachy, red color scheme, very warm toned. And I already have pan in the shade Sinsin. This one I also hit pan in through my Pan Those Eyeshadows project back in 2023. But yeah, this is what we're looking like. I hope you can also tell that there is a pretty sizable dip in Gracia. But talking about shades I might want to hit pan in, this would definitely be a contender as there's already a sizable dip going in there. Other shades that I feel interested in would be Rune or Valletta, this really beautiful peachy shade. I think it would be really nice as a blush, but my biggest concern would be that it would take away from the blushes that I'm panning in my 25 and 25 project. So yeah, this is what the palette is looking like. I hope I can roll this out in the next update already. It shouldn't be an issue to reach for all of the shades twice. I am, however, a little bit concerned about hitting pan in the shades because they are kind of deep. Not as deep as ColourPop or Natasha Denona, but they are definitely a little deeper. So we'll just have to see how long it takes for me to hit pan in one of these shades, but my usage goal I'll definitely be able to hit in a month or two. So yeah, with that out of the way, I'll try and remember to pop up some swatches, and let's hope that I do that, unlike last time when I said I would. But yeah, this is going to be it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, maybe comment something down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and you can also hit that bell so you'll be notified of every single time I upload a brand new video, which will hopefully be soon. Bye!